Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to do the little control boxes for the seat heaters. And I just put a piece of like dual lock Velcro there. And these boxes go with it. I opened it up already. But this cable needs to go from here to here without any chance of interfering with the control cable. So I'm going to make it so you can wire tie it over here, and then it just goes under there. But in order to do that, I'm going to shorten it. And then this plugs into that. And then this long cable literally only needs to go to under the seat here. So I'm going to shorten those and put some Molex plugs on it. So that's the inside of the control box. And yes, it's on my phone because I forgot to record it with the video. But you can tell I cut it in half from what it needed to be, and just basically shortened all the wires and soldered it back on. So these guys are back in. You can see the plug wire goes from here to there. It can be wire tied there, so there's no chance of it interfering with the rudder cables. Next one up, I kind of rerouted these a little bit so they just come out in the middle. I'm going to put one plug on there, and hopefully they don't go bad and I have to replace them. If not, I have to solder it. And I think I'm going to cut this one right about here, so it just kind of sits there with lots of freedom to move and no chance of interfering with anything vital. So that's what I did. I just combined these into a larger Molex plug, and that's going to sit right there. So nothing's going to go anywhere. Check it with the battery, plug that in. Hard to tell on heated seats when it's already 80 degrees out. Let's see if it works. Survey says it works. Ooh, nice and warm, top and bottom. And we have different settings. Looks, this lights up. That's like, I don't know, like an illumination light. And then when it's on, that lights up. Not sure why they would use green for heated seats. I think red or orange would be more good. All right, on to the next thing. Many years ago, when I did these seats, remember I put a little X there because that thread set let go. So I'm like, oh, let me fix that. And I'm looking at it, and it's not that it's stripped, but it literally broke off. That's a first. Well, let me see if I can put a new one in. Got that checked off. My little workaway list, shorten the parking brake cable. I just had it, I already took it out, kind of looping up and around. It kind of made a big loop. So I decided I'm going to take another 3 inches off of it. And I'm going to do that with the whizzer tool on my Dremel. And I can check that off too. Parking brake cable is officially shortened. I took 3 inches out of it, and I figured if we need to secure it here or there, we can still do that. I did go ahead and safety wire it just to make sure it works the way I expect it to. I cut the inner cable too. I left an inch longer. I don't know how much you're supposed to leave, but I guess as long as it's not poking the brake lines, then we're good. I put a little bit of black sleeving on here because when the got a dog here on me, sorry. When the instrument panel's in, you can kind of see that silver part, or brass part. So that's done. Now I'm working on these panels. I don't know, kind of been holding off because I wasn't real happy with what I came up with. But I think the reason I was holding off is because I was reluctant to put another fastener. I kind of always pride myself as doing little visible fasteners, but I had this guy in here that held it solid. This was a little loose up here, so I am going to put a nut plate in here, so the same 8/32 fastener just goes in there, but that solidifies all of this, which that's great. Then I don't know if you can tell inside here, you have this kind of little lip where it sits on. I'm gonna bend that over so it kind of hooks onto that tube. And more than anything, it'll make installing it easier, because the way I have this set up, it needs to go in a very, just in one spot basically. So fun. It's wicked hot today. It's like almost 100. Not sure if this is really necessary, but when this panel is up, picture it upside down here, the edge of it is kind of close to this pulley. It doesn't touch it, but I'm just gonna take a half round chunk out of it to give it a little more clearance in case you want to stick your hand up there or feel or touch, or maybe a wrench to tighten something. But nothing else, saves weight. So that's kind of where that half round comes in. Clearance for the pulley, plenty of clearance. And then what I made here is I made a small little doubler, and the reason being because this went all the way down, like you could move this up significantly more, but then nothing would fit. So I kind of just wanted one hole where it's gonna go, and it is what it is. So this way you basically push it up, lock it in, and that is what it is. It only goes in one way. If it doesn't go in, it's not in the right way. So this is not tightened yet. Basically I just hooked it in, and that little bend over that I did in the back, can you see it? Yeah, there you go. That basically just helps hold the other side up. So if you're doing this by yourself, you know, you're trying to get one side lined up and then the other side falls down, vice versa. So this way, like, it kind of just clips in, and then you can go and adjust, you know, where this needs to go, and you can do it solo. All right, kind of wishing that maybe I got these things wrapped today, but I did not. I'm still kind of fine tuning it, but I put the nut plate underneath there. This is really solid now, so I'm made a world of difference putting that in, so really happy with that idea. And then I started futzing with the back windows. I actually wanted to go to bed, and then I'm like, oh, let me just look at those, make sure I have all the parts. And I haven't put them in yet, just Clecoed them. But I think I'm gonna save this for tomorrow or the next day, get that wrapped up, and check that off too. Bunch of random stuff all over the odds and ends, but needs to be done. Good night. I've come up with every excuse in the world to procrastinate wrapping these panels, and I can't think of any more reasons to procrastinate. So here we go. I think I remember why I procrastinated so long to wrap these, and that's because they were kind of a pain. They weren't like horribly bad, but trying to pull that through into that corner and then this corner without having any white showing, and underneath here in the three-dimensional shape. But they came out fabulous, and now I'm gonna put them in. And installed they are. I'm digging it, and I like the way this gap is on the side, nice and tight. And if you remember from way back when, I added, I don't even remember, like all this filler stuff inside here and inside there, because I always noticed when you open the door, this was kind of like all open and you could see everything. So this makes it a lot more finished, and both sides came out really, really cool. On the bottom here, this is just a little, that white thing tucks in there, that holds it there. Then you have one screw here and one screw up underneath here. And that little protrusion that you can see is the big bolt that sticks through, and that's tight. They feel nice, and I'm really happy with that. And on that note, if I didn't end that video in the with the last ending, I'm gonna download them tonight and see how long they are. I'm gonna end it here because now I gotta think of what's next. I'm really getting ready to put the engine on, and probably focus on the stuff that goes up there, the important stuff. So, good night. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy building. Keep building.